You're not this far. Mm-mm. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay. So
yes, let's talk about it. About it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date? Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I went into this date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
and then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least, you know.
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
again.
I don't know there
yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made up.
There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my planner, where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late, and like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment, and that is not possible.
And that's why I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, you know, meet.
I'm just gonna stop the video right there because she already pissing me the fuck off. But here's what I'll say. Now, there's a few people online saying that this was a skit, and there's a few people saying that this was real. So I have two different opinions based on whether it was a skit or if it was real. If it was real, what I have to say is, girl, you were doing too much. You were doing too much, and now you're making black women look bad. And you're making it harder for black women to date outside of their race because you're giving other races of men this idea that black women behave like this on dates. That's one. Two, I agree with black women having standards. Hands down. I'll be the first person to say that black women need to have standards, for sure. So I'm not mad at black women for having standards at all. And I do think that all black women should have that bare minimum requirement of a man taking them out on a date. Because there are still black women who will run to a man's first call if he sends a come over text. So I do still believe that black women deserve to have standards, and their bare minimum requirements should be a date when a man is trying to pursue them and get to know them. However, putting pockets on what that date is a problem. And I'm sorry, girl, but Cheesecake Factory is not cheap. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. If you go to Cheesecake Factory with 2 people and y'all are drinking, having cheesecake and food, the bill's going to be at least $100 to $200. That's not cheap. And it's like, girl, you're talking about, oh, I'm used to being courted. I'm used to being taken these places. So what men are you dating exactly? Because a man who makes 6 figures will drop about $200 on a date. That's normal for a man who makes 6 figures. So what type of men you been dating? You been dating men who make $1 million a year? You been dating Drake, who dropped $30,000 on a date? Who you been dating? And at the end of the day, it does not matter how much the date costs. What matters is the quality of the date. Because at the end of the day, I could go to a super expensive restaurant that costs $3,000 and get the same quality experience at a cheaper restaurant that will cost me $500. So girl, a price tag on what the date should be is already a problem. Now you look entitled. There's ways to do this shit, and that's not the way to do it. And first of all, I already know that this girl's a fake bougie bitch. I already know she's a fake bougie bitch. And you know what? I've met a couple women like this in my life. There's a lot of women out here who are fake bougie. They will sit up here and act like they're the bougiest girl in the world and they can't go to certain places because that's beneath them, or they can't talk to certain people because that's beneath them. Whole time, they've never even experienced the bougie stuff that they demand. I bet you this woman has never been to a nice restaurant that costs about $500 a bill. And she probably has never even been on a date with a man who's richer than him. She's probably dated men in his tax bracket. So I'm confused. You over here trying to act like you're bougie and, oh, I only like going places like this, only going places like this. Like, girl, I'm sorry, but I doubt that you've ever even been on a date that was more expensive than Cheesecake Factory. The problem is these fake bougie women, they develop standards based on what they seen on social media. I promise you, this woman basically went on social media, saw a post of a girl getting treated on a date that was about $1,000, and she was like, oh my gosh, is that what men are doing these days? That girl got treated for a date that was $1,000. That's the standards that I gotta have now. Whole time, it doesn't even fit her life or her experience. Your standards should fit your life and your experience and what makes sense for you as a woman, okay? Because as a woman, yes, you are entitled to a date when a man is pursuing you. That is a given. Like, if a man is interested in you, period, it doesn't matter how much money he makes, he is supposed to give you a date. That is for sure. Yes. But the amount of money that a man spends on you on that date, that is determined by the quality woman that you are and how you carry yourself. And when you carry yourself in a way that you're entitled and like you're a gold digger, girl, you're not going to attract the right type of men. The right type of men are not going to want to take you on dates any further or pay for expensive things for you, because they're going to see you as somebody who's very superficial and only looks at a price tag. And I know that she's never even talked to a rich man before, and she developed these standards based off of seeing a post on social media, because if she really talked to rich men in her life, she would know that a lot of rich men like to do practical, simple stuff. And a lot of the time, they don't like to be in the bougiest places. Okay? Let me tell you something. The richest man in the room is going to be the least flashiest. The richest man in the room is going to be the man with a plain hoodie on, with khakis and some clean Air Forces and a hat. That's going to be the richest, most powerful man in the room. And you won't always find the richest man in the room at the most bougiest places. Sometimes the richest men be at places like a local restaurant in Philly or in whatever state you live in. The richest men don't always be in the bougiest places wearing designer all the time. So the fact that she's expecting that this man take her on a date that costs who knows how much, because girl, I don't even know what the fuck she was expecting. Like, girl, was you expecting like $1,000 on the date or something? Like, The fact that you expecting that and you believe that every rich man lives their life like that 24/7 just proves to me that you've never even dated a rich man before. You just saw some shit on social media and you develop standards based off of that. And now you walking around trying to make everybody fit those standards. Whole time you don't even pull men who could live up to those standards. I promise you this woman has never even pulled a man who could give her that restaurant that she wants. And a lot of rich men don't be in the most bougiest places all the time. Sometimes they like to go to normal places because rich men don't look at a price tag because they already have a lot of money. So they look at the quality of places and what places give you a quality experience. And there are some places that are cheaper than the bougiest places out here, and they give you a better quality experience. I know a lot of places that cost about $1,000 for a table of two. And when I go to a place that's cheaper, that's about maybe $200 for a table of two, I get better food and a better quality experience. And a lot of rich people, especially rich men, pay attention to those things. So you will see rich men in less bougie places that are not as expensive, but because they love the quality of the experience, they're going to go there. Because at the end of the day, they're not looking at how much this is and how much that is. They already got money. The only people who really pocket watch like that are the people who don't got shit. Like her. She probably don't got no money in her fucking bank account. And that's why she be pocket watching all the motherfucking time. But a lot of rich men, they like to do simple dates at first. They don't like to take a woman on a super expensive date on the first date, because they don't want somebody to be looking at them for their pockets. So a lot of rich men will do something simple like a coffee date or something at like a local restaurant or even a restaurant like Cheesecake Factory. But most of them don't go out and take you to a restaurant that costs damn near $4,000 on the first date because they don't even know you yet. They don't even know if they're going to call you next week. So this is coming from a girl who's talked to rich men. A lot of the time, they don't blow a bag on you the first date. They'll still take you to a respectable, clean place that is, giving you a good quality experience with good food. And y'all could still sit there, have a good conversation and get to know each other. But a lot of the time, they'll choose something simple like a coffee date or something, or even Cheesecake Factory or a dessert place or something like that to take you just so they can get to know you. I feel like she wants to pull a man in a certain tax bracket, but she has not been able to pull that type of man yet. So she only goes after the men that she's capable of pulling, which is men like him. And then she gets mad when they don't live up to the standards of the man that she wants them to be, which is a man taking them out on a $3,000 date. And it's like, girl, if you want to go on a $3,000 date, then why don't you just go on a date with a man who's super duper duper rich who will do that for you if you ask. But the thing is, you are not capable of pulling super duper duper rich men who will give you that type of date. I know she's not. But yeah, I feel like in this day and age, social media, they make it seem like women don't have to do shit. We just got to be pretty and have a coochie. And we don't got to do nothing else. I know rich men, they don't look at how much a woman makes. However, they do look at the foundation that a woman has and what she has going for herself. Because he's not going to be dating a bum. If a man makes 6 figures and he's rich and he has a business or he has a lot of assets and all this stuff, he's going to want a partner who can match his level mentally. So he's going to want somebody who's educated, who's smart, and who knows what hustling is like. Because at the end of the day, when you are dating somebody, you guys are exchanging energy. So the same way how we tell women not to date down because if they date a bum, then that bum is going to drag them down with them. It's the same thing with men. Men, they're not going to date a woman who does not have a foundation for herself, meaning she doesn't have any type of goals or ambition in life. She's not educated. She's not emotionally mature, and she doesn't carry herself well or take care of her hygiene and all that stuff. He's not going to date a woman like that when he makes a lot of money because she's just going to drag him down and make him lose more money. A man wants to be able to go home and feel like the woman is adding value to his life. And that doesn't mean financially, but if your man comes home from a long day of work as a 6-figure earner, he's probably going to want to come home and complain to you about his day at work. He's probably going to want to talk to you about some business decisions that he made at work. And if you're a dumb bitch who has nothing going for herself and you have no knowledge or substance at all, girl, how you gonna add value to that conversation? He gonna come home and tell you all these things that happen at work. You're not gonna know what to say. You're not gonna have no advice, nothing. It's gonna be like he's talking to a dead wall. So it's certain shit that you gotta have as a woman to pull certain type of men. It's not just being a woman and being pretty. That can only get you a date and that's it. But the type of men you pull, the type of pockets that he has and the type of money he'll spend on you, that is determined by how you are as a woman. What you represent as a woman. Do you keep up with your feminine hygiene? Do you keep up with yourself? Do you make sure your hair always looks good? Do you make sure that you smell good? Do you make sure that you have a good skincare routine so your skin looks good? Do you make sure you get your nails done? Do you make sure that you're educated and you have substance? Do you have a foundation for yourself? Are you building something for yourself? Because again, you are single until married, love. So as a single woman, you should not be relying on no man until you're married. So as a single woman, you should still be building a foundation for yourself. And then, if I get a boyfriend along the way, then yeah, he can take me on dates and pay for all the bills. And he can even invest his money into my own foundation and my own goals. And that's cool too. But I still got to be building my own foundation, because if we break up, then what? I got nothing. You are single until married. So until you are legally married, you should still be building a foundation for yourself. Whether it's getting a degree, starting your own business, getting a couple assets for yourself, investing in a couple investment accounts, doing things like that. So you have things for yourself that are in your name that are valuable. And not just getting liabilities like purses and clothes. I mean assets. Like, I'm talking getting a property for yourself in your name. Because as a single woman, you only need to put 3% down, girl. So things like that, those are important. And a lot of y'all don't have a foundation and don't have any goals or ambitions. And y'all just want to go out, drink and smoke and do nothing with your lives. And then you think that high quality men who make a lot of money are supposed to take you out on dates and give you about $3,000 a week because you're a woman and you're pretty. No, that's not how it works. Men invest their pockets into women they see value in. And the women they see value in are the women who got shit going for themselves and who have substance. Because if a woman has something going for herself, she has substance and she can contribute a lot to his life and add value to his life. When it comes to giving him advice or, taking care of him at home, all this stuff. That all requires a certain, trust me. I done sat down with a couple dumb bitches in my life, okay? And let me tell you, every time I sat down with these women, it was like I could not have a normal conversation with them. And they added no value to the conversation I was talking about. I would be talking about school. I'd be talking about a job, all that. Even current events. They would have no substance to add to the conversation, and it would be like I was talking to a brick wall. And I was like, damn, y'all must be dating some dumb ass niggas who don't got shit going for themselves and don't got nothing important to talk about, because y'all are just super uneducated. And at this point, y'all done added no substance to the conversation. Y'all added a sprinkle of salt and said, yup, I'm a high quality woman. No, girl, you're not. It doesn't just take being a woman and having a coochie and being pretty to pull certain type of men. Okay? So let's erase that right now. You gotta have certain things. You gotta be a certain quality woman to pull certain pockets. Okay? So I'm holding black women accountable for that. Stop thinking that all you need to do is be a woman and be pretty to pull high quality men who make a bunch of money. That's not what it is. And if it was a skit, like I said, bitch, you are stupid. Because why would you do that? And now you're making black women look bad. Because let me tell you, online, this is all over the internet. And people from all different types of races are talking bad about black women and saying how, you shouldn't date black women anymore. This is why you shouldn't date black women, because this is how they act. This is why nobody likes black women. This is why nobody likes to date black women. Oh, there goes me dating black women now. That's over. Like, a lot of people are saying this stuff, including people outside of our race. Like, And it's like you're ruining it for girls who do want to date outside of their race. And this is the worst time to do it. Like right now, there are so many black women who are finally opening their options and finally expanding their dating pool to other races. And you want to post a video with a man who is not black, and you're acting totally entitled and intolerable, and you're just going to make all black women look bad. And I know y'all like to say that not all black women are the same and we're not monolithic. And I'm like, listen, it don't matter. I get it. Not all black women are the same. Trust me, I know there are some black women that I'd never want to associate myself with at all. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you post stuff online like this, other communities are going to associate one black woman's behavior with the rest of us. So now, when black women are dating outside of their race, it's going to be a lot harder. Because now other races are going to be looking at us like we're going to be entitled and we're going to be bitter and we're going to be intolerable on dates just because of this woman and her damn video.
Hell no.
Simple as that.
I said what I said.
As
and
always.
I'm not changing on it, okay?
That-
I said what I said.